We've certainly got the Americans ahead on points, but as a contest, we're still looking for the knockout blow, and it still could come from either side.
Back on side, 8 blue!
McDonald, he's got his shorts halfway down his rear end, his jersey riding up his back.
Drop goal attempt.
Wiles. And he's pushed it wide, or pulled it wide, I should say.
Showing his experience. Right decision. They did not get any go forward or quick ball, so rightly so, just sit in the pocket. Well, he's right in front of the sticks, to be fair, and that's drifted just to the right. On the screen to the left. It was almost a hook, but the right option, just poor execution.
So Kluchnikov with the restart. Control with the left foot of Chris Wiles. Wiles indicating it's going up in the air, which is what he does. Oh, and straight through the hands of the fly half Kushnerev. Stamfel comes away. There's Smith.
These are the unforced errors we talked about that cost the Russians.
Moakiola. Prishipenko had hold of him for a while. There's Petri, the try scorer. Suniula. The scrum half has his hands on the ball again. And Chris Wiles getting in the action at every opportunity.
He's getting through some work rate.
Oh, referee playing advantage here. It'll be a penalty coming to the United States. It'll be pretty much in front of the post from about 25 metres. There's Biller. Referee still playing advantage. There it comes. The Russians have gone offside.
7 red offside.
And here is a chance for the Americans to go 10 points clear with about 16 minutes remaining.
Just highlights the basics of rugby. Wiles misses the drop goal attempt. They go long, the right decision in this weather on the 22 restart, but a high ball from Wiles. And Kushnerev just knocking it on and coughing up possession so easily. It just gives them a free opportunity to have a play, see what can come, and then they get frustrated and go offside. Another opportunity for Wiles. It can be a soul-destroying game.
So, Chris Wiles takes his team 10 points ahead. That is a significant gap.
It's possession that they need, Russia. They just cannot get hold of the ball. When they do, they have looked dangerous. They're a team that want to play. They've got some heavy hitters, big ball carriers, but they want to play. But you need to have possession to play.
Rashkov changes direction. Also on, by the way, you can see him there wearing 19. That's Adam Burns, former Leinster and the Queensland Reds, now plays for the Melbourne Rebels in Super 15. Doesn't have a typically Russian name, I hear you ask. Well, that's true. Born in Sydney. Both grandparents are on his mother's side are Russian. Adam Burns has been very keen to stress that in the early stages of his international career for Russia, he was actually baptised in a Russian Orthodox church, and he says he used to speak Russian when he was a youngster. There's Eddie O'Sullivan, the America coach on the right, former Ireland coach, in charge of his 3rd World Cup here.
He's been under pressure this week. This is the game he does not want to lose.
Well, the ball being just knocked out of the hands there of Burns, but the referee playing advantage here to Russia. It came forward off an American hand. Shakarov. That's for Artemiev to chase. There's Ongwenya, fumbles it forward, caught by Artemiev. And the Russians, well, they're back on the front foot again.
I'm glad I didn't say anything, Martin, there, because they had a full back line with back rowers in the line, and I thought, go and use it, you haven't had the possession. And then Shakarov, he kicks it, and I think, no, but the pressure and the wet weather, and then Guane comes up with another unforced error. There's been plenty of them for the States, but they have had plenty of possession.
Change in the back row. Scott Lavala of Stade Francais. That's a dream contract for him, which he'll be taking up after this World Cup. So 14 minutes to go. Can the Russians dig deep and find something to narrow this 10-point gap? The Americans came here as outstanding favourites, but they really have been tested all the way by a side who, remember, professionally, Russian rugby, just 6 years old.
It's an incredible job the guys that have started it all off have done to get here and then put in a performance like this. Kingsley Jones, Henry Paul must take a bow. Fantastic.
Yes, there was a Russian federation set up about 70 or 80 years ago. But it's come and gone and come and gone. But I tell you what, tonight, the Russians are coming back. Here's Ostrusko, the tackle from Wiles. Yes, Russian rugby was shut down by Stalin at one point in the 40s because it was deemed to be too capitalist. Greshev with a knock on there. There he is, the new man.
Having watched them train, they can get a little bit too flat. They're so anxious to get over the gain line and get the ball. In these conditions especially, you just need to hold your depth, let the 9, but this is a good move. This is right out the Henry Paul playbook. And they get to width very, very easily, and that's what Ostruska needs, just a one-on-one, have a go. But here he's having to dig Shakarov, and he's just a bit too flat. There's no way he's running at pace onto it. He's never going to get over the gain line, and you just need to hold your depth, let the play happen in front of you, let the 9 get the ball and then attack it. A bit like Mike McDonald has done tonight, and Stanfield, he's got through a ton of work.
Well, it's a party night in the rain, whichever your team is. The adoption of colours has been one of the themes of the run into this World Cup. All the various neighbourhoods of Auckland have certainly been asked to adopt a nation. Well, down here in New Plymouth, which is, what, about 4.5 hours drive from New Zealand's biggest city. It's a mixture of fans for the States and for Russia. Tim Usas comes on, of Nottingham. Well, if he plays anything like his half-back partner at Nottingham, he'll have a good final 13 minutes, because James Arledge got 2 tries for Japan at the weekend.
That's just what you need when you come on. The referee staring at you and saying, put it in straight. Dave Pearson.
Picked up by Clever. The Americans going backwards there. Usas back to Wiles. A current Nottingham man feeding to a former Nottingham man. And the ball into touch.
Look at the position here. That's great pressure from the Russians. They've got to get the energy up now. They have the ball. Seeing them, they have got a playlist. They can attack the front of the line out, the back, they can go to the backs. They've shown that they can go wide, but they have to win first phase ball.
Prishipenko there just getting some treatment. There is Vyacheslav Grashev.
He showed no signs of being an old man. Brilliant game so far.
So, Korshunov, can he find his line-out jumpers this time? It's palm back. Well played, Shakarov to the fly half. There it is for Shakarov again, but they're going to keep the ball tight. Grashev makes half a metre or so. This time it's Garbasov waiting for it. There goes Garbasov. Prishipenko is there, the tight head prop. Shakarov just directing Voitov, but that was an American boot that got in there. Through the hands of Rakov. Well, the Russians have still got possession, but they've lost about 20 metres. And it's going to be a penalty. And Roland Suniula there getting in the way. He's been penalised.
Sorry, Martin, they're a bit lucky there, I've got to say. They got out of shape really early. It was almost like an old-school line-out. When I first started, there was no lifting in the line-outs. It was always batted back to the scrum half. It was sent a shiver down my spine as I remember those horrific tap downs. But they did get the ball, got slow ball, and then they were out of shape. They obviously had a call that was made. The forwards knew they had to get around the corner, and they got out of shape. And it got a bit frenetic. That's when the halfbacks need to take control.
So line-out ball on the American 22. There you can see Voitov on the right with a black protective headgear, one of the two Russians in this lineup here, who speaks decent English.
Play on.
Grashev and Shakarov, they're getting in one another's way, but the referee was happy with that. There's Shakarov. Prishipenko running straight into Stanfill.
Stay on, lads.
About to hit the last 10 minutes. There's Popov. Dave Pearson has taken a tumble.
I always love to see a referee on the floor.
Well, Dave Pearson
Offside.
awarding a penalty. The Americans coming offside. 10 points down here. You've got to go for posts, haven't you, Andy? Oh, well. Eventually it balls over. Todd Clever and Adam Burns.
Not happy, is he?
Walk away. Just go for enough way.
Clever, he's been the face of USA Rugby for more than a decade. He's a heavy hitter and he won't stand for any back chat. Or he's not happy with something in a ruck, but it's his team that are going back 10. He almost needs to get his team going. That's why he's probably in there.
Well, we've had 70 minutes of it. Been great. Yeah, that'll be the last one we'll have. Okay? Go talk to them, both sides. Calm down. And you're getting my washing bill.
Well, I'm not sure how much Vladislav Korshunov understood of that.
Absolutely nothing.
Calm them down. You talk to them.
And he's blaming Todd Clever for the tumble, quite clearly.
Yeah, it's nothing.
He's obviously implying that Todd Clever was the one who knocked him over. You're doing my washing. Always one for the little joke, isn't he, Dave Pearson?
He is. I'll tell you, seeing the picture of Grashev there, he's done some clearing up for his team tonight. He's just, that little possession that they've had, he's managed to secure it.
Well, this kick, probably the biggest in Yuri Kushnarev's career. It really would set up a grandstand finish. 1 from 3 tonight. 319 international points. Can he take it to 322? I'm afraid the answer is no.
I'm blaming you for that, Martin. You put all that pressure on him. He's been striking it beautifully. One of his strengths in goal kicking is his accuracy, but pressure, it's a funny thing. Big relief for the USA team.
Scully with the restart. Well, Artemiev ran underneath that, didn't he? And then he slipped.
Move! Hands off!
Well, the Americans coming through, illegally so.
Hands in the ruck.
And that was Scott Lavala, who was the guilty party.
Yeah, you can't come on, try and get your team, get their energy levels up, and then just go and give a silly penalty away. That's not impact from the substitutes bench. Great kick. What a kick. Right into the corner. Now, I have seen them do some good plays here, so be interested to see what's in Russia's armoury here.
Well, Yuri Kushnarev seeking atonement. Off comes Sergei Popov. On comes Vladimir Botvinnikov. There he is, wearing 17. Plays for the NSA STM club.
And the last line out, nobody was lifted. They've got to nail it now.
Korshunov there with the ball in hand. Voitov standing at 2. It's Burns at 3. Those two switch around. It was intended for Burns, but it was superbly read by the Americans, and particularly by John van der Giessen. There's Usas. Well, when the chips have been down, it's been the Americans who've had their noses ahead.
Well, it's a little bit lethargic and slow and easily read here. Meat and drink to Van Giessen. But they've got another opportunity. Usas's kick went straight out, not much distance, so another chance. They They've really got to nail their line out. So important.
There's John.